Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Plymouth Isle, my Sims 3 Create a World series. This is episode 30, so we're getting pretty near to the end here. We're kind of in the final stretch, the last few episodes. In this episode, I'm creating a coffee house or coffee shop, which I'm calling a cafe in this instance, and then also a hangout, which I'm kind of made into a tavern in a way. We'll get to that. That'll be the second lot. But for right now, we're working on the cafe. Now, this lot is designated as a Java hut, which is a lot designation that came with university life, and essentially it's just a coffee shop. I guess they couldn't use the term coffee house or coffee shop because they already used that for a rabbit hole kind of venue for Showtime. So yeah, it's fine. That's what this is, and yeah, it's pretty nice. It's right here on the corner on the wharf. Both of the lots I'm making in this video are going to be on the wharf, and yeah, this is on lot number 5. So if you want to download this lot, you can. There's a link in the description below, and you can place it on lot number 5 in Plymouth Isle. So yeah, it's pretty much all there is to know about downloading, I guess. But here I'm kind of creating the shape of the building. It ends up being a 2-story building. There's kind of a freeze level there on that second level part, I guess. And I also made this building, like a lot of the other buildings on the wharf, kind of look like 2 separate buildings that at one point were converted, into one kind of building. So you'll see on the inside there's still kind of a wall that separates them, but there's like archways and stuff in it. So it's kind of an interesting look, and it's kind of like what I did with the arcade in episode 23 and the pet shop, I think was episode 26, and also in the Elixir consignment store, which I believe was episode 27. So if you've seen any of those episodes, you'll know this is not a new thing I'm doing here. This is just kind of what I've been working, kind of the design I've been doing for the wharf is kind of, making, these wider lots look full by making the buildings look like they're kind of 2 separate buildings. And this was kind of inspired by the way Sims University is. If you have university, or if you have the university pack, the Sims University world, kind of has like a lot of the community lots look like a bunch of separate stores, but kind of like joined together. And it's really just one larger lot, or one larger item. I guess like each store looks like multiple. That's a better way of saying it. But yeah, right here you can see we're coming along pretty quickly here with the exterior of the coffee shop, whatever whatever you want to call it, the cafe. I'll just call it the cafe. So yeah, I got kind of 2 storefronts there, but they both lead to the same kind of area. Well, they lead to different areas, but they're all connected. And yeah, the windows are different depending on which original building it is, and it kind of like fills the lot up nicely here, and it's actually kind of not across in the marina. It's kind of like a little bit farther in here, so the marina is kind of off to the side. The marina will be behind the tavern lot, so just kind of some grass that leads into the water behind this lot, which is kind of nice. But yeah, there's also some balconies as well, so the upstairs ends up having 3 balconies, which is kind of nice. And the kind of large, well, I guess they're both kind of large, but one half of the building has a flat roof, which is actually the first and so far only flat roof on the wharf. I don't know, just thought I'd mix it up a little bit because otherwise it gets kind of repetitive if it's all just the same. I also decided to do half of it with this kind of white siding here. It's kind of an off-white. It's not really pure white, but And then I also went with the kind of very traditional kind of wood shake siding on the other half. So you'll see that in a bit. But right now I'm just kind of recoloring all the windows and stuff. So just doing that, making it all match. It's all like a very light kind of a cheerful color scheme. It's very bright and airy looking, which I think is quite nice. And I do include an awning later. I actually come back to this lot while I'm in the middle of building the one next to it, because I realized I forgot to put an awning in. So you'll see that as we progress along here, but it ends up looking really nice. And here you can see I'm just kind of detailing this, or I'm kind of recoloring this detail here so around the flat roof. So I don't actually have a freeze level on top of the flat roof because I didn't want to complicate the skylight there, which you can see. I really like that skylight. I believe it's from Roaring Heights, so it's very nice. And it's kind of like right above the main counter. So from inside, it looks very nice because there's like a cutout in the floor, kind of like a void there, and it looks straight down to the kind of main counter, which is very nice. So here I'm just kind of recoloring all the doors and windows on the other half of this kind of coffee shop, and I'm also adding in the nice wood cedar, that's what I meant to say, though it could be any kind of wood, I guess, but typically I think they're cedar. It's kind of like nice wood shake siding, which looks pretty nice, and then again, it's very traditional New England, and I'm going to use it in a lot of different places in the next build as well. So just like a lot of kind of New England looking stuff happening here, and also getting in the doors there, or actually the doors are already there, but putting in the kind of wood wall covering there behind it. Also getting in some stone here for the chimney. This building actually has 3 fireplaces. There's 2 in one half of it, and the other half is kind of like this little stove, kind of small looking fireplace thing. Pretty cool. So lots of heat sources, and just adding in some details here. So kind of like coloring the roof there. I put in like a couple air conditioning units actually, and stuff like that. So just putting in some doors down here on the main level. There's going to be 1 bathroom on the first floor and a 2nd bathroom on the 2nd floor. So, it's kind of split up. And there's kind of like 2 separate zones, or I guess 3 separate zones here. So like the main entrance where the kind of main counter is, there's some seating there. The upstairs has some more seating. It's kind of like the 2nd area. And then the 3rd area is the other half of the 1st floor, which kind of has some couches and chairs surrounding the fireplace, which is pretty cool. So anyway, just getting out the flooring here. So going for some wood floor on the 2nd floor, and I'm going for kind of this black and white diamond tile on the 1st floor, which I thought was pretty cool, very classic looking. So yeah, just doing that, getting in some tables as well. So there's kind of like 3 tables here in the main area here where the counter is, kind of by the main entrance. And there's going to be several more on the 2nd floor. There's also going to be some outdoor seating as well, so plenty of seating. Anyway, those are those tables there. There's some upstairs as well. So, plenty of seating here. I think there's 4 more tables up here. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, here's where the couches go. So kind of around the fireplace. It's kind of just like a nice hangout area, I guess. And then I also have some outdoor seating, kind of like these very classic bistro looking seats here. I'm going to put some umbrellas on them and stuff, so it looks kind of cool. I also kind of do this with the tavern next door, so it kind of has that same kind of theme. But I believe that these chairs and umbrellas are from the store. I think they're from like a bistro set. Maybe I don't yet have the actual bistro set, like the business as usual bistro. I don't have that, so I don't know if these are from that set and I download them separately, or if they're just from something else. But yeah, anyway, here just recoloring kind of like a little stone wall that kind of separates off the kind of outdoor dining area from the sidewalk, and also getting out this coffee shop sign from University Life. So there it is, kind of designates this as the kind of cafe coffee shop, and also getting some flooring there on the balconies. But now we're going to move on to the interior here for some more colors and stuff. So just kind of recoloring the main counter there, and I actually really like the wallpaper I use in here. So it's kind of different. It's from Pets, I believe, and it's kind of like got this little arch to it, which I quite like, and I don't think I've ever used it before. So it makes kind of for an interesting look there. And I also use a different kind of wallpaper there in that front area. But yeah, I quite like it, and I also like the color. It's very cheerful, kind of yellow, bright and sunny. Here in the other half, I kind of go for these kind of wood paneled walls, but almost like, kind of more subtle and not in a dated way, so I think it looks pretty good. Anyway, here just putting in some lights, and I realized that I needed some chains there so that it actually touched the ceiling, but then I also realized the skylight is above there, so I had to move them over a little bit. I do that off camera, so those lights don't end up floating. It's okay. They end up being anchored on the ceiling, which is very good. Anyway, getting in some sconces here as well, just to provide some more light in some various areas here. Also getting some lights over the tables, but those were pretty dim lights, so I had to use the sconces just kind of around the place here just to kind of light it up a bit more. I'm also going to get in some lamps as well for some more light, and lots of plants kind of in these front windows, which I thought would be kind of a nice detail, kind of a nice vibe to add. I thought it kind of fit the aesthetic nicely. So just doing that, getting in some plants, kind of makes the front look very lush and kind of inviting. So also getting a rug there that kind of matches the umbrellas outside, and I'm going to get an awning in later that matches those same colors as well. On the second floor here, we have some bookshelves as well, so your Sims can come and read here if they want to. And I did fully test out this lot, so it is fully functional. Not that it really wouldn't be, but it works. Everything works as it should, which is good. And here I'm just getting in some more lights as well. I'm also getting in some more plants on this side, which is quite nice, and also a mirror there. And I think that's pretty much it for this lower level, except for, the main areas, I guess. We have the kitchen still to do. So I say kitchen kind of in air quotes. It's not a full kitchen. It's mainly just cabinets, a fridge, and a sink, because that's all I can really put here. But there's these nice tiled walls. I'm also getting in the same tile on the counters there as well. So it's kind of like a nice, like a little bit dated, but not like in a horrible way, So kind of just getting that in, and getting some little tiny overhead cabinets there, and also some blinds on the windows. So that's kind of the kitchen area. And then here we have one of the bathrooms downstairs. So this is technically, I guess, I guess it could be anyone can use this bathroom, but I didn't put gender-specific doors on these bathrooms. But the one upstairs is kind of more intended to be the men's room because it has a urinal in it, but any sim can really use any of these bathrooms here. So just getting in a couple sinks and 3 toilet stalls in this one, and also some paper towels and hand soap. And then on the second floor, we're going to get around to doing that bathroom in a bit. So here, just getting a nice bit of art there over the fireplace. Of course, a yellow horse, which I've kind of been more spotty about including yellow horses. I do and I don't sometimes. Depends whether I remember or not. But this lot does have a yellow horse, which is great. And also getting in some curtains and some more plants. And here's the upstairs bathroom. So again, this one has a single toilet stall and just a urinal, and then 1 sink instead of 2. But yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it right there. Recoloring the counters and also getting in some mirrors, which is always good to have. So yeah, readjusting those bookshelves on the second floor, getting in some more plants. And we'll do some outdoor stuff now. I'm getting a bench here around the side. And I'm also going to get in some outdoor lighting, which is always important, of course. So just doing that, and also some backlights as well. And I'm also going to put in, I think, a little trash can there, I guess a recycling bin, and some more lights. And what more? We'll do like some final detailing stuff. So just kind of this extra space up here at the top. I'm just going to put some flooring, walls, lights in there. And on the under roof areas, I'm going to recolor. And I'm also going to color in this area black right here. But we're going to move on now to the Tavern lot. So this lot is kind of an interesting one. So it's a hangout lot is what it's designated as. So basically all you really need to make a hangout lot is just a bar. So the bar and some seating. So this has that, but it also has a bit more. So this lot can also function as a live performing venue if you have showtime. So essentially what I've done is placed in a stage here, so a stage from Showtime. So if your Sims are performers, they can come and perform here. And then on the second level, I put in some hotel rooms. So it kind of acts as a tavern, so it's not like a hotel so much as just, it has like, some places where people can stay if they're like visiting for short periods of time. There's 3 rooms on the second floor. And then the first floor has like a small dining area, the bar, it's like some bar seating, and then the large performance area, because unfortunately the stage is 8x7 and there's not really a smaller size, which is kind of frustrating. The stage item is actually in Buy-to-Bug. It's like a Buy-to-Bug item. It's kind of like a carpet really, and I just put it on top of a stage floor there, which I just set down now. And to really make sure that I could fit everything in, this building basically extends like all the way to the edges of the lot on each side. And this is so far the only lot on the wharf that does not look like two buildings. It's just one large building. So that's kind of the idea here. And you'll see I'm going to go for a very specific kind of old kind of look for it. Like it's kind of classic kind of pub or a tavern look that has like a lot of dark woods everywhere, and just kind of has that, general style. So you'll see that kind of evolve here. But yeah, pretty cool building. Got a lot of stone and wood on it. And yeah, and it's a very kind of multi-use building as well. The only thing I wanted to include that I couldn't was the kind of karaoke station. There just really wasn't any room here for it. So yeah, and I kind of put these windows here on the first floor. I think they're actually facing the wrong way. I think they face the opposite of what they're supposed to be, but I did that intentionally because they kind of have this weird bit that sticks out that I could hide with curtains on the inside, but I didn't really want to have on the outside. So that was kind of the idea behind that. And here I'm just making a little covered area just for some outdoor seating. It's going to be some seating under the covered area and some seating not under the covered area. The only thing that kind of bothers me about that covered area is it doesn't quite line up with the windows there. It's not perfectly centered, but it is what it is. I didn't want it too close to the front door, so had to make some sacrifices there. I also got this stained glass windows, or these stained glass windows from what is that, Late Night? And these other windows here from Supernatural and World Adventures really work well. I don't know, I just like the windows in general. They kind of just suit the building really well. It's kind of got that classic sloping roof there that goes all the way down from the second floor to the first floor. That's kind of on the right side of the building. I guess you can kind of see it if you don't know what I mean. So I feel like that's kind of a very New England kind of style there. So yeah, here I'm just getting in the stone. I went with kind of like a gray stone for the outside. So that's like kind of the primary material here, along with the wooden shake siding. And here I'm just kind of recoloring these windows. So again, very dark, rich woods, just on the inside and outside. So I'm just kind of getting those in here. So just kind of doing a bunch of recoloring of all the windows and stuff. So yep, just doing that. Yeah, I really like the way this turns out. Oh, and by the way, this is on lot number 4. So of course, there's a download link for this lot as well in the description, so you can check it out. And if you want, you can place this on lot number 4. I guess any of the wharf lots, since they're all the same size and shape. But I built this on lot 24. Anyway, there's the stage. You can see it's just massive, which is a little inconvenient, but it is what it is. And also put some random props down, just whatever. They didn't really know what to do. There's the karaoke stand that really wouldn't fit. You can see the bars right there, and I also put some bar stools in. Ended up putting in a bunch of these kind of taller tables, so they're kind of like bar tables, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, here, this kind of side area is kind of just like a dining area, so I guess you can imagine maybe it's like a kind of a restaurant-ish. And actually, those booths are usable, which I did not expect, but they are usable. I play tested the lot, and your Sims managed to slot in the tiny gap there somehow. So that's good. And they also, all the tables are functional, so that's nice too. Anyway, there I just put the beds in the bedrooms upstairs. Of course, each bedroom has a bathroom as well. And this is nothing like the hotel I did in the last episode. It's not a full service hotel, of course. It is kind of like a small kind of area for people to theoretically kind of stay, like for short periods of time, I guess. And it's obviously not like a full service hotel. It's just kind of like a classic tavern type situation, I guess, which it's kind of got that kind of vibe. Anyway, here on the first floor, I'm looking for the wood. There's the wood flooring I go with. Not that color though. I do change it up. So there's the flooring I go with, and then I use parquet wood on the second floor, and I also go with some sort of wood here on the stage. So yeah, just going for kind of like a nice plank wood there. And yeah, and you'll see once the wallpaper goes in, the once the wood paneling goes in, you see it gets pretty kind of like old world looking. It's got that like just that look to it. I also like that neon sign I put outside, so you may see that. I think it looks pretty cool. And here we're just briefly coming back to the cafe lot, so I could add in that awning I was mentioning earlier. I just kind of forgot it before, so just doing it now. So there it is. There's the awning. Wonderful. So just going to come back over here to the to this a lot here. So I also put in, there's the outdoor seating actually, you can see that. But I also put in a few more things outside as well. So just putting in some detail items for now. I was looking for some things that might work. Yeah, I put this little sign outside as well, which I thought was kind of fitting for the building. So kind of like this hanging sign. And I also kind of put in some planters too, which looks pretty nice, and also some hanging plants on the side. So just doing those now. So that's pretty nice if you like walking down that pathway there between the two buildings. And also getting in some planters here. I use some plants, just normal plants in them. I really like the way the wharf is overall turning out. You know, I'm building these buildings very close to the street. I think all of them are about like 1 block just away from the sidewalk there. So, you know, kind of has that very, you know, old vibe to it, like it's an old wharf. You know, it's very compact, and I quite like it. It looks really cool, especially now that all these lots are getting filled in here. There's only 3 more wharf lots to do, which is pretty crazy. So, you know, we're really speeding along here, getting a lot done. You can see the wallpaper is in now, the wood paneled walls, and yeah, that whole kind of tavern vibe is really coming together now. Also getting in some wall lights here as well. So just putting those around, and I go with like gold accents in here for all the lights and stuff. Normally I do silver, but in this build I thought gold would kind of be fitting. And here I'm just recoloring these bar tables and stools. So just doing that, making it all kind of look a little bit more worn and kind of more muted, you know, in color. And I also was going to put some lights on the tables, but they wouldn't place, so oh well. And there's a 4th table I just added in, and all the tables are usable, which is fantastic. And I'm also going to put in some lights over the tables as well, so kind of go with these hanging candles from outdoor, from back, you know, I'm trying to think about what the pack was called. I can't remember now. There was like the outdoor pack for The Sims 3, stuff pack, and now I don't remember what it's called. I'm just thinking like of Sims 4 pack names, because I know like Outdoor Retreat was a pack, and it was a game pack in The Sims 4, and Backyard Stuff was one for The Sims 4, but I can't think of the Sims 3 one. I can't remember now. Anyway, whatever, it's not that important. So here I'm just doing some recoloring of these kind of booths here, which are surprisingly usable. I don't think your Sims can eat at the tables while sitting in the booths, but they can sit in the booths somehow, despite those tables being there. And here just kind of just doing some recoloring of those kind of stage lights. And next we're going to move on to, I think, these 2 back rooms here. So there's going to be 1 bathroom, one kind of public bathroom, and then a small kind of kitchen area as well. So kind of like a prep room, I guess, a little back room. So here just kind of putting in the bathroom, so just doing some recoloring here. Just kind of going for some gray tiles, some green walls. And it's getting the same stuff on the floor. This is a pretty simple bathroom, just 1 person at a time type of situation here, but works pretty well. You know, just getting all that kind of stuff in. There's some soap, and there's also hand towels. I have a dirty mirror there as well. Also put, I think, some curtains on the windows as well there, even though they're stained glass, can't see through them. Just thought it would be good to have. And this tiny little room here is kind of like the kitchen area. There wasn't much room left over in this place, so had to cram it in here, but I think it works pretty well. You just have some cabinets, there's a fridge and a trash compactor and a sink, and you know, that kind of stuff. Again, just kind of decorative. It really serves no purpose, but I thought it was just kind of nice to have. Anyway, that's, I think, most of the first floor. There's going to be a few more things I'm going to do here. I forgot to recolor these tables over here as well, which I'm going to do in a sec, but I'm also adding in these curtains as well, which I thought looked pretty nice. Not a huge fan of how they intersect with the booths, as you can kind of see there, but whatever, it's fine. And then I'm also going to put, I think, some clothes in the closet, as well as a little closet there you might notice. I just imagine it might be like a coat check type of situation. I also wanted kind of like a front podium or whatever, like, you know, where like a host or a hostess would kind of, you know, lead people to their tables or something, or just kind of like invite them in, or they can check into the tavern upstairs, or like, I guess, check into like a room upstairs by like whoever's standing at that kind of front counter there. So that's what that's there for. And yeah, as I said before, there's the clothes in the kind of front closet. And now on the second floor, we're going to put in the kind of like rooms that people can stay in. I mean, of course, Sims can't actually like pay for a room and stay here like they can with a resort, because it's not the lot type, but you know, it's more just kind of decoration, kind of like a fun idea. But yeah, they all kind of have the same bathroom here, so it's just kind of a simple, kind of more modern looking gray bathroom. You know, nothing too crazy. The rooms are different sizes. There's one room that has a double bed. The other two rooms have single beds, and two of the rooms have desks, and one of the rooms does not. So yeah, it was just basically based on size. And these rooms don't have closets, but they do have the wardrobes there, which is why I included them. So yeah, there really wasn't room to put closets in all these rooms because it's a pretty cramped upstairs. It's not really a huge building here, so yeah, just fitting in what I can. But this is one of the rooms here, and these are again meant just for short-term stays. That's kind of the idea anyway, so just getting some stuff in here. Of course, all the rooms will have the same furniture in them. Nothing too out of this world. No, not changing up too much from room to room, but still keeping it consistent, which is I think important, especially when you're dealing with kind of like a hotel type of situation. So yeah, just kind of getting the same kind of objects in these rooms. Also have it in night mode here so I can make sure they're all lit well enough. And we're going to do the bathrooms now. So the bathrooms, again, all pretty much the same, just kind of a varying sizes here. But each room has a bathroom, so there's no communal bathrooms or anything. So there's 3 rooms, 3 bathrooms, getting those in, putting in the details, like some toilet paper and hand towels, all that kind of stuff. So just doing that, getting in those details, of course, some mirrors as well. And I'm also going to put curtains in all the bedrooms and bathrooms. So yeah, just kind of adds a little bit more privacy, a bit of detail there. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end here. There's some screenshots coming up soon, so I hope you stick around for those. And if you've liked, commented, or subscribed, I really appreciate it. And of course, you can download either of these lots, and you can of course download the World of Plymouth Isle. There's probably a link to the overview video in the description, so you can download it from there. And yeah, so it's coming along pretty well. And of course, you can check out the rest of the videos in this series. I have a playlist on my channel, so there's of course 29 episodes before this one to check out. So yeah, plenty more to see, and there's going to be a few more coming up after this as well. So but we're getting near to the end here. Anyway, also adding in some ceiling details there, which look pretty cool. You'll see that in the screenshots. But it's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time.